What's up, everybody? So today I want to talk to you guys about the summarize function. So to start off, let's take a look at the syntax for the summarize function, which you have to input a table, an existing table. Then, uh, if you want, you can put in a column from that existing table. You can put in as many as you want. This is where you're going to be grouped by. So whatever columns you input here, it groups by the expression that you're going to input here. Afterwards, you input a name, which is going to be the column name for the expression that you're going to input here. So here's a look at parameters, which I think does a better job than explaining than I did. So table, any DAX expression that returns a table of data. Group by column name, which, like I said, is optional. Then we have name, which you're going to input yourself in double quotes. It's just the name given to a total or summarized column enclosed in double quotes. The summarized column is going to be your expression. And then again, expression, which is going to be this, any DAX expression that returns a single scalar value, where the expression is to be evaluated multiple times for each row or context. And I think this does a good job of summarizing what we're going to be doing, which is the return value. It's going to be a table with the selected columns for the group by column name arguments and the summarized columns designed by the name arguments. These are some remarks. Let's see. Okay. Here's an example they gave. So I think I'm just going to jump right into it in Power BI. So here's a table that I took initiative to make. It is the customer KPI table, right? So what I'm summarizing here is the order details table. From the order details table, I decided to summarize the customer ID, and I named my expression column total sales, and I just summed up order details total sales. So after I input this DAX function with the following parameters, it returned to me this following table, which is total sales right here. This has been created from this. Then we have customer ID, which was created right here. Now here's KPI levels. This is a calculated column that I created after creating this summarized table. Let's take a look. KPI levels. So what I basically said is that I put in an if statement, right? We're not going over if statements right here, but I'm just going to give you a quick overview. What this is saying is if my total sales in the customer KPI table, which is this, is greater than 10,000, then I want you to input 1. For example, 34,000, so it gave me 1. Else, which means if it is not greater than 10,000, then I want you to give me a 2. For example, 9,002. So the reason I did this, and I'll show you first in table view, and then I'll show you what it looks like in report view. So the reason why I inputted KPI levels is because I created a separate table called KPI. And the point of all this is so I can get my key performance indicators, and I just wanted a green arrow key to show, oh, it's doing good. This, I believe it was, yeah, so this customer ID is doing great. They're above 10,000. And this customer ID is doing, he's doing good too, but he's below 10,000. So that's what this is supposed to represent. I'm going to have I imported an icon URL from whatever icon website you want to use, and I named the icon key 1 and 2. This is the important part that I want you to take away from this. So in my model view, I created a join, okay, between customer KPI and KPI. This join is between icon key and KPI levels. That's how my table in report view is going to know that when the customer KPI level is 1, then I want you to return the following icon. So when its icon key is 1, this is the icon that's going to be returned. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like in report view right here. So as you can see, we have the customer name, and the reason customer name is able to come up because I made a join between this table and the order details table, between customer ID. My customers table is connected to the order details table through the orders table, and because I've made it I've set it up to both, what happens is that this table over here, customer KPI table, is able to interact with the customers table through the order details table, which interacts with the customers table through the orders table. So customers is connected to orders, orders is connected to order details is connected to customer KPI. So that's how I'm able to bring in this right here, company name, which to be more, company name is just the customer name in the customers table. Okay, so as we can see, Quick Stop is doing great, $117,000, excellent. That's why we have a key performance indicator to represent that, right? The threshold is 10,000. It's above 10,000. You get a green arrow. Now let's go down and we'll take a look over here. As you can see, red arrows. Why is this a red arrow? Because the sum of total sales is below 10,000. You know, nothing to scoff at. $10,000 is great sales, but it's below my threshold. That's why we have a red arrow. Now back to the summarize function. I was just showing you the logic, how I applied the summarize function into my model, how I'm using it actively to give you guys some creative ideas. Now back to the main topic of this video, which is going to be the summarize function. So again, exactly what I mentioned before, we have the summarize function over here. I inputted what table I want to use, okay? Then I decided that I wanted to group by customer ID right here. So I included it in the group by section. Okay, then I decided that I want to put this expression in. This is my expression. You see, if we go back over here, what it say? We need a table, optional, a group by column name, and then we're going to want an expression. And if we're going to put in an expression, which is going to be converted into a column in my table, because this is the summarize function is creating a summarized table of the table I put here, that's why I'm going to want to put a name for that column. So I named it in Power BI, I named it total sales. That's where that comes from. So I think, I hope that you guys got some clarity from what I said here about the summarize function. I hope that you guys see what some real life example of using the summarize function could look, along with a lot of other things that I didn't explain in this video. But yeah, this would be a real life example of the summarize function, and hopefully you guys can conceptualize what this function does better after this video. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, please leave it down below in the comment section. Okay, thank you.